Hi friends, it's Grace and welcome back to another video in my first official filming session of 2023. So I have been a little bit delayed on some of these beginning of year and end of year videos that I've wanted to do just because the holidays were busy and then I actually worked all of New Year's weekend, but I have a little bit more time now and I am ready to talk about basically the way that I'm kicking off this new year, and I'm really excited about it. So I do have a couple of holdovers from my December TBR, and then I have a couple of, I don't want to call them obligations, but books that because of various like external reasons, I know for sure that I'm reading in January, and I'm going to leave the rest up to my mood. So the first book that I started in December and did not quite get to finish is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. And I shouldn't even say I didn't quite get to finish this. I got like 15 pages into it, and don't get me wrong, I liked the introduction and I liked the start of the book, but I just wanted to like power through some of the other books that I was reading near the end of the year, and I thought that this was one that, like, possibly because it's a classic and just because of the type of reader I am, I wasn't as compelled to read it like right then. So I am planning to read it this month, in the first half of the month, and basically as soon as I'm done with my current read, I'm gonna pick this one back up. And like I said, I was intrigued by the beginning, I was intrigued by the context for this book given in the introduction, and I think it's gonna be a really interesting experience. The next holdover from December, and one that I'm a lot closer to being finished with at this point, although in terms of number of pages it may honestly be equal, is The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick, the second book in the Rook and Rose trilogy. I am adoring this. Like, I loved Mask of Mirrors, and I was putting this off maybe a little bit because I wanted to not have to wait as long for the third book to come out. It is supposed to come out in August of 2023, so in the grand scheme of things, that's not that long of a wait, but I wish I picked this up sooner. I'm loving it so much. So I'm really hopeful to finish this either today or tomorrow, like really early in the month, so that, like, not even so that I can get it over with and move on to my actual January reads, but because I am absolutely like powering through this because I'm wanting to be reading it like all the time. So yeah, I'm very pleased with how this is going. It's just a big book, so I didn't have time to finish it at the end of December, especially since I was working at the end of December. Then for my actual books that I'm going to start in January, I have three main ones. And so the first of those is for my Reading Booktubers Favorite Books project. And I did put out a video introducing this series and pulling the first name for the book that I was going to read in January, because it is going to be one per month. And so the name and the book that I picked was Beowulf from Philip, on the channel Philip Chase. So I find this to be a really interesting pick from Philip. I'm excited to get into it just because it is such a like classic ancient story. Like, I have just heard about it, I guess, my whole life, but never, well, earlier I never considered reading it, and now I feel like I'm at a place where I'll be really interested to see like the types of influences that such an ancient fantasy story has had and where it was at that time and all that type of thing. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to enjoy that, and I'm going to vlog my experience with it, and Philip is going to be so kind as to give me a video clip explaining why he picked the book for me, and I'm going to put a video together on that later in the month. This is something that I'm going to do every single month this year with like whoever's book that I pick out. So if you're interested in knowing a little bit more like who else is going to be involved in this project, then I will link my other like introductory video in the description. But Beowulf, which I now have on Kindle, is going to be the opener for this, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, the next two books on my January TBR are both read-alongs, and one of them, well, technically both of them are happening on mine and Ben's Discord. One of them is like just on our Discord, and the other is championed by Joanna from the channel of the same name. So that is the A Song of Ice and Fire read-along. So I have my pretty well-read copy of A Game of Thrones. I've already read this book twice. This is the only book in the series that I've read twice. I have not reread any of the other ones. I've only just read them once in like probably 2013 or so, which is absolute insanity to think about the fact that that is a decade ago now, since we're in 2023. But I love A Game of Thrones. I love A Song of Ice and Fire, so I have not yet started this. It's January 4th, but I don't think it's gonna be too hard for me to catch up and get really like right into this, because it's not a long 800 pages, if that makes sense. Like, I know that this is gonna be easy for me to read, very engaging, and just something that I want to get through. So it's gonna go pretty quickly. So I'm like, I guess technically a little bit behind. I didn't start on the 1st of the month or anything, but I wanted to wrap up some December stuff like The Liar's Knot, and then I'm gonna be getting into this. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So there's plenty of channels joining in on this read along. And if you watch like my videos, you probably watch a bunch of other people who are involved in this as well. But if you are interested in joining mine and Ben's Discord, we are taking part in it and gonna have some discussions. And there's already some great discussions happening, which I have been reading since I can click on the spoiler bars for this book. But yeah, I haven't actually started it yet. That'll be coming soon. Then next up, another read along that's happening on our Discord is a book that has a very, very strong champion in our Discord, which would be Sky. And then the other thing is that I know Angela from Literature Science Alliance really enjoys this, and that is The Ruin of Kings, the first book in A Chorus of Dragons. The Chorus of Dragons or A Chorus of Dragons? It doesn't actually say. But while I was planning to start this series this year, I wasn't sure when, so this is a great motivation to kick the year off with a really, really good start on my like series goals for 2023. And at the same time, I randomly found this on indigo.ca, and Indigo is like our Barnes & Noble, and this was $8 for the hardback. I got the first one and the third one, both for $8, and that is Canadian dollars. So for the rest of the world, that's like, I don't know, that's probably like $6 or like £5 or something. So you can imagine that Indigo doesn't like make a habit of selling hardcover books for that price. So I was just incredibly lucky that I, for some reason, decided to check the website and look at these books on that day, because when I looked at this one, it was like there were only 2 or 3 left in stock, and it was a whole thing. I was over the moon. I literally purchased them immediately, and I'm glad that I did, because I'm glad that I have this ready to start and join along on that read along in the Discord. And I'm just really excited for this series. I'm gonna now own the first 3, so here's really hoping that I do like it. But yeah, I'm really, really pumped about this. So those are the 5 books that I'm hoping to finish in the month of January. I do have Ben visiting me, which is obviously very, very exciting. And while the 2 of us do read a lot together, because of course we're both big fans of that hobby, we will, like, of course, be spending time together and like doing activities and whatever have you. So I think that this is a very reasonable amount to expect myself to read this month. And once I get beyond that, I'm just gonna like let my heart take me where it will. I'm not naming any books. I'm not like committing myself. I'm just gonna go with the flow, which is an exciting prospect because there's a lot of books to choose from. I own a lot of books. So with that said, that is going to be it for this one. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you would like to see more content from me. I post new videos on most Mondays and Thursdays, and as always, I will have my Discord and socials linked in the description if you're interested in any of that stuff. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!